So we've been joined by, for those watching online, we've been joined by Michael Adams, who's just defeated the world champion, Vishy Anand. So, Nick, well done.
You made us sweat.
You made us sweat. You were 1 week. Okay. How quickly did you see Queen D1 at the end?
Oh, very quickly, actually. But,
yeah.
Well, you have to see it quite quickly, otherwise you might have played bishop takes c4 without... Yeah, I mean, I sort of thought it won, but I have to say it seemed very unfair to me that it won. It just didn't look right that it was a winning move, and perhaps that. And then I couldn't see any move for him. I mean, so I was sort of thinking about it a long time, but
well,
maybe a bit too long.
Okay, I know this is.
I mean, I could also sort of tell because Vishy was sitting there, and it was clear that he'd seen it almost as quickly as I had. It was a bit weird, but. And I think he didn't want to get up because he thought that would
you looked at him,
give the game
he
away.
Looked at you.
Well, I did look at him because that seemed a bit mean in the circumstances. But there we go. Yeah. He was quite nice after the game, actually.
Yeah, well, that's Vishy. He's very gracious. Yeah, so slightly unexpected because, of course, we thought the game was just drifting inexorably towards a draw. Probably you did as well.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was going to play rook takes e5, and I thought, okay,
in this position,
I'd try and work out the most precise way to make it draw, whether queen d2 or immediate bishop takes b3. I wasn't sure which was most precise.
Queen d2.
Yeah, I thought then takes bishop c4. Other bishop.
Yeah, thank you.
Takes rook c2 or something like this looks pretty drawish. So. I think I can probably also play bishop takes b3, although that might require a bit more calculation.
Okay, but this also...
Yeah, I mean, even if he keeps the extra pawn, it's going to be pretty drawn with the pawn structure.
Yes. Okay, and also, let's just check that. Or you were also considering bishop takes b3.
I mean, if he takes queen b4, I thought I could take on f2 and go queen f6.
That's the trick. Okay.
I think that might also be
pick up the rook. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, he can
maybe take on b4. Yeah.
He can maybe go rook b5 after bishop takes b3. I thought, but okay. I mean, it is pretty marginal.
Rook b5. Yeah, maybe a little bit problematic.
I could maybe play queen d2, for instance. I don't know if that... Assuming he doesn't have any good tactics here.
I think it peters out in a lot of lines, doesn't it?
Might be a draw, I wasn't sure. Maybe there's some rook b8 check possibility, I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, this was sort of funny, because I was sort of half looking at this line. I thought maybe queen c5 here. And maybe because I saw this variation, it actually gave me the idea to go queen d1 in the game, because I saw this and I thought...
Okay,
well, I don't know if it's actually mate, but it certainly looks a bit alarming, to say the least.
Yeah, queen h8.
Queen h8.
And then we get a check in, don't we? And rook b6.
Rook b6.
King d7. Queen d4. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you can understand why you'd find that a little bit troubling. So probably the rook and pawn.
So maybe queen d2 is safer.
Yeah, queen.
I mean, I don't have to play queen d2 also.
Yeah, queen d2 does look pretty safe, doesn't it? Yeah. So this rook and pawn in the.
Yeah, I don't know, because I actually thought I was comfortable a little bit earlier, but then it seemed to get a little bit.
Yeah, it's funny.
Awkward. I mean, I thought when I went b4 and got the rook to the a file, I should be doing quite well.
We're going to work backwards here. Yeah, it's funny. When you played b4 and kind of got some security on the queen side, then, we started to feel a bit more optimistic about things. But on every move, it's funny. It was kind of quite close. He almost gets control, but not quite.
Yeah, I mean, what I don't really want to allow him to do is put the knight to c4.
Yeah.
And obviously when I went b4 he was a long way away from doing that, but in the end he managed to do it, of course.
Okay, so would rook c2 make any difference here? I don't know.
Well, rook c2 would probably transpose, I thought.
Well, okay, we'll just see this bit of the game. Okay, and now it's Yeah, okay, now it looks equal to us. We were wondering why you didn't play rook a8 straight away, actually.
I think I thought rook d2.
Just this one.
Yeah.
You thought that might peg him back a bit.
I was just sort of thinking, well, if he changes the bishops, maybe his rooks are a bit more centralised than mine. I didn't want to be sort of left with a rook on the A file. If I go like rook A5, bishop E2, some pass move, and then bishop C4, let's say.
Okay.
King
Well,
G7, let's say,
yeah.
bishop C4, take with the rook. I was just thinking that maybe he's threatening rook D5 there, and or maybe also even if he just sort of takes and rook takes C5. I just thought my rook on the A file wasn't doing a lot.
Okay.
But okay, I mean, I'm not claiming it's some huge problem. I just thought.
Okay, you thought that might be better just to keep the rook there. Interesting.
I just thought my bishop was good and I should try and keep it. But
yeah.
Maybe that was also possible.
Okay, so that was okay. That's how we reached the end position. So the opening, we were shocked actually, Mickey, because your bishop came to G7. When was the last time you fianchettoed your bishop?
I can tell you it was in the British Championships in Edinburgh. I think was the last time I played this move. Well, we played, so you should be able to remember the year, I think.
1985.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I lost a game to Ivanov in this line.
Oh yeah, that great.
I actually had
Englishman.
a good position from the opening, but
Are you talking about in Edinburgh or here?
in Edinburgh.
In Edinburgh.
I think I had not a bad position here as well.
Oh,
but,
yeah, it was okay. So that was
no,
the
I mean,
last game.
I didn't really expect Vishy to play English, but I had the idea to maybe play this in one of my earlier games, so I said, okay, I'll give it a try. Backrow's been playing this a bit recently. I mean, I think at one time, instead of bishop g2, I think it was considered white got the advantage by taking on c6.
Yeah, this rings a bell, actually.
But, then I sort of noticed in recent games, well, that's the whole point, in recent games, black was actually taking with a d-pawn.
Ah.
And now that everyone plays the Berlin, I think they were sort of thinking this is basically the best Berlin ever, because you just sort of take bishop e6, king c8, and
God, that's really
the pawn on c4 is a bit vulnerable.
That's really
b3
funny.
kind of a5, a4.
Yeah. Probably before all this Berlin stuff,
yeah.
people wouldn't have thought about it.
Actually, Kramnik had a game this quite a few years ago, so maybe for him it wasn't such a new concept, but I could see for most guys. So then,
yeah, no, because I remember.
Then what Vishy played, I think I thought was maybe critical. Actually, what he played was my main line in analysis, or that had barely been played. But I guess compared to a King's Indian, it should be relatively okay for black because white's gone backwards a bit.
Yeah.
Not that I really know anything about the King's Indian, but there we go. It seemed to me giving up this bishop was strange. I thought I was wondering if he was going to play h3 instead of bishop e3.
No, it's funny.
Maybe black can play b5 then.
We were looking at this position, and John Nunn said straight away, he said, black's got to play c5. There we are. He's a King's Indian man. He knows about these things.
The only thing is I can play c5 next go because it's not clear what he's going to play. I was thinking about rook b8 on the grounds that is he going to play a move that prevents c5, but I thought he'd probably just go queen d2.
Okay, but anyway.
So I thought, okay, just do it, get it done.
But in principle, he said, black's got to play this, otherrise, what else can
if you don't believe in this bishop, in this position, then. Because, okay, now queen d2, I can take on c3 and take on e2. So.
Okay. So it's a big knight, but it's a big bishop on the long diagonal, so. Takes, and queen a5.
Yeah, the good thing for me in this position really is that he wants to put the bishop on d5 and the knight on d5, and only one of them can go there at once. I think that's his big problem really, to find another square for the knight so he can manoeuvre.
Okay, you weren't tempted by the ending. Is the ending bad?
Well, the problem is with the ending is I was a bit concerned he might get to clamp on the queen side because b5 knight c7 is a problem.
Oh, okay. Sorry, knight c7 straight away. Okay. Right, so if you can't get b5 in, then
I thought he might go a4 and
yeah.
that would be
Okay.
problematic.
Okay, so queen d8.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe he might play b4, but probably I can play c4 against that.
Okay. Yeah, after you played that, it looked very healthy somehow.
Well, I wasn't sure because I give him a plan to put the knight to c4, but like I mentioned, here's the b4 possibility, so I thought, okay, at least it commits, and I thought I'd get the rook to the a file, which is important.
Yep. Okay, so we've basically reached the position where, we just.
No, I mean, I think it was quite a logical game. You know,
Yeah.
he just played rook takes c5, and somehow it came to a draw.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we were both thought, well,
Yeah.
pretty standard game. And
So
that's the
things
way
are
it
looking
goes.
pretty good so far in the tournament. You've.
Well, yeah, I mean, I had a bit of a blackout yesterday.
Yeah.
But actually, I sort of had two blackouts, really, because I had one against Nakamura I got away with, and one yesterday when I didn't. So, but the other games have gone well. So,
So you've got.
and obviously with the 3 points, winning games is very useful.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So you've got McShane, Aronian, and Kramnik still to come. Piece of cake, really.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, black against Vishy hasn't always been a very productive pairing
Well, yeah,
for me. So you never really know which pairings will go well and which ones go badly.
We were looking at the stats, and it hasn't been joyous.
They're not encouraging. They've been a bit better in recent times. But yeah, I'm not sure. The first 15 games, I don't know, made about half a point or something, I think. But,
yeah, it didn't look that great. So okay, that's a good one to get off your back, basically.
On the other hand, if you play Vishy a lot, your stats don't really improve. He's
Well,
a good guy just to play once or twice in general.
We did note that most have a pretty serious problem with that. So anyway, good stuff. So hang on, who's tomorrow? We've got
I think it's Luke tomorrow.
Luke tomorrow. Good stuff, Mickey. Well played. Sorry.
Very quickly before you go, Mickey, very quickly, because we're going to go to a break shortly after this, just your thoughts on the two remaining games.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to bring them up here for you so you can have a look.
First of all, we've got, let's check out McShane against Jones. So we've got
Let's shoot right to the end.
this endgame. Any more moves after that, Lawrence?
Well, no, Luke actually, funnily enough, has spent 30 minutes here.
He's gone in the tank.
He's gone into the tank big time. Now, clearly, Luke should not be losing this anytime soon, but is it quite difficult technically to convert this, would you say, just through feeling, without analysing too much?
I would have thought if he goes something like Queen C3, I don't know, tries to take back with a pawn, that looks quite favourable for white. I'd imagine he'd have pretty good chances to convert it. I wouldn't necessarily say it's easy, but
I guess with the pawn on C3, that kind of blocks out the king.
hoping to sort of block, and
bring
if he can get a dark square blockade with a light squared bishop, then that should be pretty. I think I would expect Luke to win. Would be my guess, unless he. I think normally he'd probably win that position. Would be my feeling.
Okay, and the other game we've got Aronian Kramnik. Well, the dust has well and truly settled in that one, I think. I know what result I'd go for, and it's the result I went for before the game.
There's not a lot left there, is it? I mean, Black's probably marginally better, but I don't think Aronian got where he is today by losing positions like that. Correct. So I would think I would agree with you on that.
Okay. Yeah, looks like a draw.
Beautiful. Time for another cup of tea, Danny. And Mickey, maybe you'll have a glass of wine. Stay right. We'll be right back. 5 minutes. We'll be back.